everyone. So, sorry about that. We're going to go around for a little while. I don't know how long. I did manage to get my last pork key popped. So I managed to finish the bonus before the event was over.
That's a plus.
There.
Yeah, now I just need to cut all those branches up and use them on the grill.
So what he's talking about
Our apple tree.
is we trimmed things that were in high demand, and the vitamin C didn't appear to be in high demand, at least from the price. And I'm pretty positive echinacea is not in high demand. So definitely wouldn't fit in the high demand or medical. We turned it off.
Found something out tonight in the general union meeting I had, and this guy said I already knew the department will come on in and close the whole plant, but we shall see.
And I was like, I know it. If the health department says they have to shut down, they don't have a choice. It's just the only other way it would be if they decided they wanted to shut it down as precautionary. You just ran from a fluffy, not fluffy.
No, signal not found. I couldn't get it. They're canceling everything. There's two of them right here.
Okay, I got someone right behind me, so.
Fluffy, not fluffy. Die!
Not die, you're returning him.
He looks like he's dead.
Anyway, so I think the reason they're closing all of the raid hours and everything.
San Francisco, and they're on shut down too.
Yeah, there's that too, and how many other places that's completely shut down.
Worldwide, San Francisco, they're on a 24-hour lockdown quarantine. Whole city.
Only 24 hours? What are they expecting?
No, no one can go. It's for 2 weeks, okay. 24 hours a day, okay. All day long.
What about food and stuff?
Hope they had it, because they can't leave their home.
From what Dad was saying, and it's true, if you don't have enough, they have to have a plan to be able to get food to
get food to people.
It's one reason I think Utah's making the plans they are, is they know they can't handle a 24-hour shutdown through all of or a 2-week shutdown through all of Utah, because there's a lot of places that are too spread out. I mean, and I can see there that they could have it to where certain places are allowed to be open, like to have grocery delivery or whatever. But yeah, and then they wonder why Utah's got the highest shortage of toilet paper in a lot of things.
The Utahns are cuckoo in the head.
No, it's not that. What size of families do we have? So naturally, and as my dad was saying, many of those who
I
went
can
through
place
the
in
Great
this gym at Willow
Depression,
Park.
many who went through the Great Depression don't ever want to be found without toilet paper because they experienced a time when they couldn't get toilet paper. And honestly, that's one thing my grandma, who lived through that, kind of instilled was, make sure you've got enough toilet paper. And so I don't know how many, so if many families are like that, then they may be, bigger families, if you think about it, how much would a family of 8 go through? And okay, a family of 8 is on the bigger side now, but here in Utah, a family of 4 is pretty common. 4 people might be common in other places, but here it's more like 4 people, 2 kids is actually on the lower side of, on the low side of what's normal here.
Is that better for you, Jan? Remember, you didn't like it when I'm so zoomed in.
And so you figure...
I'll read what you said here in a minute. She said a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to complete this.
So you figure how much toilet paper it takes per day or week for that, and then times it by a month. And then, of course, they're going to get a little bit extra just to be sure between now and then, and you've got a lot of toilet paper going out the door.
Did Mindy want to run Mom's phone? Take that as a no. What?
She said no. Yes, Mindy is here with us, so...
She's just watching her own shows.
I am watching my anime.
Which is why she said hi in Japanese.
You had a whole bunch of... I don't want to battle, I want to spin it. Come on, because I get this quest done, I'm going to go to Wizards Unite. I don't know what people said. What Jen's been saying.
Jen says hi, Mindy.
Hello.
Holy shiny check. I got a peregrine rat, Jen, if you needed it when you get back into Pogo.
I know how to use the voice channels, and if anyone on ours wanted it, Steph says hello to Mindy. On our Discord, ask for it. I could probably get it going, but I know right now a lot of them are busy with other things. One of them, I know, is kind of frustrated because of the canceling of school. Also means that she's now got kids home while she's trying to do homework. So it means almost no time for her to do Wizards Unite. I don't. Just when you don't know as much about them. Can't remember. I think that's a different one than had her baby. Than had the baby. So we have one with a new baby, one with and I know the one with the new baby has issues going on in her life too. Oh, Brett, did you drop off that to Horlockers?
What? Yeah, it got dropped off. Mindy and I dropped it
That's
off
what
a while
I thought.
ago.
I thought, but I just needed to double
I gotta
check.
do something. Item bag. Wizards.
Brett says that they've actually had to increase how much they kill
At work?
at work.
There's Fluffy, not Fluffy here, too.
And there were 2 of them.
And it just disappeared on me. Oh, well.
Should I go back?
It's okay. I need him, but I'll get plenty
Yeah,
of chances for Fluffy.
that makes sense. That's what I was thinking.
What?
But yeah, she has the one kid and that one, but she doesn't have, I know that one of her concerns was homework with the kid home. How to do her work online while she has the kid home. So, because obviously the kid would, I think her mom was taking care of the kid, but I'm not sure. I know someone was taking care of her kid while she was at school. So, now she has to do it at home, and my guess is keeps her son home with her. And so it's a little bit harder when you're doing that. And Steph will totally agree with that one. That it's a totally different thing when you are trying to do something with a kid around versus without a kid around. Especially since it's a toddler.
Yeah, that would be hard. Look, I returned 10 faunables.
So.
Unfair.
Something happened to his foundables. Nothing showed up. Now they're showing up.
The one back there sure didn't. There he is. There he is there too in yours. Oh, you stupid thing dodged.
Go ahead and take care of yours and then do mine. It's not like with mine, it's gonna hurt me enough to cause problems.
That's how it is with me. And I knew it was that way with you.
It hurts you a little bit more than it hurts me.
Snape instead of Fluffy, not Fluffy.
Well, we can come back.
I hate running 2 phones.
Mindy, Brett's pleading to please run my phone. No? Thank you. Even if it's just talking to Jen and stuff.
Mindy's into her anime. She's a huge anime woman.
Yes. Because anime episodes are shorter than...
She keeps telling me she's going to get me an anime, but they have never put me in front of the TV to watch it. Starting Pokemon Go.
We're going to watch Pokemon the first.
It sounds like he's asking for it.
Yes, but every time I want to, he's doing stuff. I wanted to yesterday and you were asleep.
So you're saying you want to go get home at a decent time tonight so we can get dinner and then you can make him watch a show or two before he goes to bed?
Hi. Yes. Sorry.
Look, 5 minutes. The aquatic center hasn't even expired.
Oh,
It's dead.
Yeah, but we're headed back for that fluffy that you didn't get. So.
hey, there was one back there.
No, I got it.
So good. What am I supposed to be doing?
Just watching for what they're saying, and if you want to go after stuff, it's the purple and the light blue claw thing.
Yes, Brett, we know, lol.
What?
Who's
saying what to me now?
They said, yes, Brett, we know, LOL.
We know what?
Whatever something was talked about.
Anime, probably.
Fluffy, not fluffy.
Who thinks anime?
I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, she wants me to start with Pokemon Go. I watched a little
No.
anime with you, Mindy. I got into the Airbender.
That is not technically anime. And it's not called Pokemon Go. We are
it's
starting with the first season
Avatar.
of Pokemon.
No, it's Pokemon Season 1. It's not Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go.
I knew
is
that.
the
It just
game.
came out wrong because I just got done playing Pokemon Go.
That's not my fault.
Shut up.
Yes, Brett, we know that Mindy likes anime. No, you didn't spell it right. It's ANIME. But,
Right?
yes. But, I can read it still. So, meh.
Happy birthday, Paul.
That is right. We do need to take one slight detour when we're done. So,
See.
because it's Grandma Johnson's birthday.
I always know when her birthday is because it's on St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
I had a woman today at work. She's pregnant, and I'm good friends. She's QA. I'm good friends with her. I went up to her, said, "Hey, you don't have any green on." She says, "My underwear's green." I said, "I don't need to know that."
I could so see me or Mindy pulling that one.
There isn't. She said it. I don't need to know that.
I'd say my socks are green because my socks are green.
Yeah, but you know what I'm getting at, Mindy, right? I'm actually reading a story right now online about this girl and her, who believes in the revenge is a dish best served cold.
I mean, it is.
And her revenge, at least as long as they aren't trying to do something that needs immediately stopping, like beat you up or something. At which point, if they are, you get them immediately, and then you dish up a dish of revenge served cold.
I will make you smell like a skunk.
No, you know what a skunk smells like. It came out on
Exactly.
me a few years back.
I know, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to make chemicals smell like a skunk, so I would just
hope
pour
not,
it on
'cause
the
that
person.
stinks.
No, I would pour it on the person.
Revenge.
Revenge.
Dum-dum.
Yeah, that'd be a good revenge.
Exactly.
He's a little bit slow. And I'm sitting here reading this story thinking, oh, this, in many ways, this sounds so much like me and my family. Because both they slightly encourage it. I mean, not fully, but, they go ahead and do things like play pranks on each other in the family.
Not play pranks on each other?
and decide who they have prank wars and decide who wins.
The one that me and Jade would have had. That would have been a great prank war. So, a couple years ago, me, Jade, my uncle, and then 2 of our friends, we went up to Bear Lake, and I was
Steph, if you're wondering,
just sitting on the edge of the
Steph knows she lived in
we were sitting on the edge of the hot tub, and one of our friends was in between me and Jade, and I was like, you're lucky Ray's there, because if not, I would have pulled you in or splashed you. And he was like, yes, you would have. And then I would have pulled you in, and then we would have both been wet. And I was like, I could just go get changed because I stayed here overnight and you didn't, so he didn't have clothes. And he was like, yes, but I would still get you wet. And I agreed. And then he said it would also start a never-ending prank war between the 2 of us, and the only way it would end is when one of us died. And Jade said it would be him because he's older, and so he would die first, but he would have one of his friends get me for him, and he said he would win the lifelong prank war because he died and I couldn't get him back. Yeah, we decided that's how this would end.
And it was talked about for quite a while. At one point he was like, and then he was talking with a friend, and they were talking about, and one friend was like, I'll lock you in your house, and I'm like, and whatever, and I'm like, I at that point I had to get involved, and I just said, you might want to stop. Because you don't understand that if you get involved with him, you've got a huge family that you're also getting involved with. And he has nieces and nephews. And he's like, I do too. And I'm like,
our family's probably
he said his niece or nephew or whatever, he had 1 or 2 when they were a couple years old. And I'm like, you've got to understand, Jades are a lot older and are used to pranks and everything.
Yes, like making people drink lime cucumber stuff.
I remember that.
It was great fun.
Did you ever, that drink we got, did you ever?
Not yet.
Okay, I'll shut up then.
What drink?
Gundam Wing. I've watched it several times, so I've heard of it. I haven't watched it though. So, yeah.
And I'm sure they can totally see that our family would completely be like that. And other families probably should not, other people outside of our family probably should not try to get in a prank war with one of us.
Oh, why not? Teasing.
I know.
That was a great thing to say, Brett. You're doomed.
I'm doomed just for joking?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You're not nice.
Good for you.
There's a reason I laughed, because I knew you were joking. If you had been serious, you would have been in extreme trouble.
I will get you far less on the prank than I would have had you actually meant it. At least I'm being somewhat nice. They missed what you said, Brett.
He said, oh, why not?
Yes.
Yeah, he said, oh, why not?
Yeah, I sometimes hate autocorrect. It's not nice. Especially with me, because I'll go and type something in Japanese, and then it'll autocorrect it to the wrong way to spell it in the Japanese, and it's just like, why? No, I know how to spell this. Don't change it. because Google Translate sucks, which means the autocorrect sucks as well. At least when you're trying to type other languages.
I remember when we thought those horns were so good to see on the map. Now they're everywhere, and I don't need them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we thought they would be useful.
They're not.
Most things aren't useful.
Actually, there's a lot in this game that is.
Your phone hates me, man.
But part of the reason... I'm sorry.
Why does your mom's phone hate you?
It won't let me get out of the chat. / it wouldn't. Now it did. But it wouldn't.
I will say one reason they're all around right now is specifically because they decided that we need a whole bunch of stuff to create trace potions to be able to bring traces into our homes. Which honestly, even if we go in complete lockdown, I still think I'll do just as well at home.
The only thing is, I'm about to get our ends.
Yeah, I was going to say, with or without the trace potions, it's just getting the inns and the fortresses will be the issue.
That's what you said while I was talking about my prank war.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
About your prank war. Really?
No. Well, I was talking about it. He said something, and none of us heard it.
I don't know.
Yeah, smart keyboards are not very smart.
So, anyway, as I was saying, this kid, it was like, you don't want to get involved with that.
Oh, why not?
That was actually what was kind of funny, is the guy knew who we were, and he pulled that, and my response was, and I basically left the kids to respond, and he quickly backed off as the kids started responding, as he realized, as between the kids and Jade, they were like, do you really want to go down this road?
Hi.
And as he started realizing that I wasn't exactly kidding when I had said, I wouldn't recommend you keep pushing this. You're about at the edge.
That was wonderful. Thank you, phone, very much. That was very neat.
What?
It froze.
Oh.
I mean, it's better now, but
Okay.
it froze for a little bit. And I made a fluffy, not fluffy, look very scary.
Sorry, but that would be a funny time to freeze.
I didn't hear it either, because I was talking, and I can't talk and listen at the same time. So,
You what?
I didn't hear what Brett said either while I was talking, because I can't talk and listen at the same time.
I see.
Oh, why not? You're not that coordinated?
Are you?
No, but...
She's asking you, not her mother, for a reason.
Oh. But I can't talk about something else that isn't super memorized and listen.
Yeah, but you know your mom, right? How many times have I been talking to someone else and then I turn and respond to something that was said at the very same time I was talking to someone else? But I also know why. And I know that that's my PTSD. It's a byproduct of my PTSD, having to know what's going on around me at all times. I think that's part of the reason I don't like roller coasters either, is I really don't like having people behind me. Yeah, I like to plan ahead and I like to know what's behind me. So like when I'm in a classroom, when I choose a seat at school, I'd usually choose a seat where I could see the windows and the doors.
What happens when you don't have windows
And
in your
could
class?
possibly get,
What happens when you don't have windows in your class?
Well, then it was easier because then I just have to see the doors and I could be near a wall. But I would quickly, on entering a room, know every exit. We did have one room that didn't have windows, the driver's ed room, and I sat kind of near the teacher's office so that if something happened, I had two escapes. I could go out the door or I could run in the teacher's office.
Fired, so.
Yeah, but nothing. It's not like anything would have happened at that time either. I mean, we're talking Cache Valley in the 90s. But
Back when you were still allowed to blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I would still do that.
My scariest time there, I was fishing with one of my friends on my dad's pond. Jen, you'll laugh your head off when you hear this. We were throwing our spinners out in the canoe we were in, and all of a sudden we heard laughter from the shore. I was like, what the heck? Next thing you knew, splash, splash, splash. We looked down, we could hear. We had 3 dried ice bombs right next to us. We had a 25-pound anchor down at the time. Dude, that anchor is bouncing on the water, bouncing on the top of the water. My friend and I, we panicked. Like, oh crap!
Un momento.
Okay.
I have a flurfy, not flurfy.
Yeah, no momento though, if it was back there.
No, this one's here.
This one's here. Oh, I see him. He wasn't there when I was just a minute ago.
Well, you're blind.
Let's go to Walmart and see what they have there for dinner, but I don't know.
It sounded like Sky said it was a byproduct. Yes.
Byproduct of what?
Yes, you were allowed to blow stuff up.
Oh my goodness.
A byproduct of my ADHD. Or PTSD.
What would you do if
Oh,
you had a
products, not
2-liter
byproduct.
bottle of dried ice land next to you in a boat?
Jen said, wait, we were allowed to blow stuff up? Dang, I missed out.
Yeah, I remember blowing
Oh,
stuff
we aren't
up
going
all the
yet.
time.
We're here to fight in the fortress, so for at least a little bit.
Which one?
Runes 4?
Sure. Now that I need it, I already did my fortress battle.
Yeah, at one point I was diagnosed with ADHD, but they said I was like the worst case they'd ever seen, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't have that many symptoms. Later on we found out that PTSD can mimic ADHD, but that there were actually some extreme things with it that you could realize, that you could figure out if you did some more digging and realize it was PTSD, not ADHD, that caused it. Basically, one of the byproducts, what it is it's my cousin's husband, well, kind of, really roundabout way for cousin, but is a vet, and his counselor told him that one thing about ADHD is it's a misunderstanding of of what you can control. I think same one. I'm in.
Wrong chamber, you went in 4.
And so basically, because it's a misunderstanding of, it's a control thing, you try to control everything you can. And so until I started figuring out how to get through it, I would control everything I could. And part of that is controlling, being prepared. If this happens, what do you do? If that happens, what do you do, etc. And it drove the kids in school crazy because for a long time I was one of the kids that they loved to pick on. You know how when you're younger, if you I get that. Yeah, when you're younger, you know how if you
Same one again?
I was just seeing how many. I think I've got 3 Ringstone gifts. We can go. Because you need to get home to talk to your mom, and it's out at 7. So.
Okay, that's good.
I'm going to let Mindy talk to you on the way back, part way while I do. But, so you know how kids, when they're younger, bullies want to get a rise out of you? And a lot of times, if they can't, they get worse and worse and worse. Just a minute, I got to turn off the car and turn it back on. Well, let's just say that my friends, and I think Brett will back this up, thought I handled things, all the being picked on and everything, like water off a duck's back.
I don't know, ducks had water.
And so, you know, they were like, it didn't even touch you. And usually it didn't. So I'm thinking, let's just head home. Or head to your mom's.
That's fine.
Unless you really want to go to Walmart. But we told the kids that about 7:15, family prayer.
That's fine. I thought it was 8:15, no later than 8:15.
I thought he wanted to be in bed by 8. 8:30. Anyway.
If I was stuck totally inside, like people in an apartment complex in big cities, my PTSD would be unmanageable. Steph, where did you get where did you share the infograph of the different profession stuff for Fortress? That's not for you. That's for Steph.
I will agree on the PTSD thing. But my thing with where I live, I'm in an area that's, yeah, just even if we were stuck to our yard, we would have plenty of room to work things, yeah, to roam around. So, we do have 2 people in our ward that are going into quarantine, but it's not because they have the coronavirus. It's because they're coming home from...
should skip more sons.
My understanding is that if they aren't in the U.S., everyone has to quarantine.
We have a lot of them then.
The church has asked every one of them that come home that aren't from the U.S., if they're coming home to the U.S., to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. If they're coming from somewhere in the U.S. to somewhere in the U.S., they haven't asked it. But basically, if you're going to a different country, you're asked to self-quarantine. And they shortened it to 19 or 21 months. I can't remember which one. There is when they're sending people home right now.
21.
Brett says 21.
Yeah, that's what I heard is 21.
And that's what I thought, but I couldn't remember for sure, so. And of course, that's for the boys. The girls are, because he's got a while longer. He's only been out like 13 or 14, so he's got his.
No, longer than that.
November, December, January, February, March. So 12, 13. Okay, he's been out 16.
I was going to say, he's been out about 16.
Almost 16, not even 16. Danny's mission actually has 2 missionaries that after they self-quarantine for 2 weeks are joining their mission to
I know Tristan went to the Philippines.
Yeah, she's coming home.
Yeah. Which Skidmore kid? I forget.
months before Danny.
You have one that's probably now he's serving stateside. Sorry, that's thinking.
And that might, well, but even stateside from this, but it's happy birthday, so.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Were you coming in to wish her happy birthday, Mindy?
We'll talk to you later. Bye.